Alright, hey guys. So today is Sunday. Today is pack up day ish. Tomorrow I am moving my RV to a new RV park. I'm drinking a Monster, no sugar. And so I started doing some packing up, and a big portion of packing up in the RV for that is honestly packing up my shaving stuff because it's just sitting back there on a shelf. And when you're towing your RV and it's moving on the road, that stuff's going to go flying everywhere. So what I do is I have to pack it all up in a crate, and then once I get to my destination, I take it all out of the crate and put it back on the shelf. I've tried coming up with better solutions of ways to keep it on that shelf with like bungee cords and things like that, but just nothing has been solid enough for me to actually do it, right? Like I've tried it and I've kind of played around with the shelf a little bit by shaking it and moving things, and it just hasn't been solid enough for me to actually try it and move. I also apologize. I don't know what it is today, but I'm a little stuffed up and I've been sneezing a lot. I don't know if there's like more pollen in the air than usual or if I'm just coming down with something. So I apologize if I do sound a little nasally. But today we're doing the head shave, right? And I am going to do a beard cleanup as well. My beard feels like it's a little unruly, like, to be honest, in the last couple of days. Like today I had to use one of the shaving bombs that I don't use very often. It's a little bit heavier of a wax of a bomb to keep the flyaways, and it still feels a little unruly. It doesn't look super bad in this video, but I don't know. It's been about a week and some change, almost 2 weeks since I've last taken down some of the length. I usually do that weekly, and it keeps it pretty great to where like it doesn't get super unruly. But I've been thinking about growing it out, so I didn't cut it this past weekend, and now it's the next weekend. I usually cut my facial growth down once a week on the weekends. So I don't know yet if I will or not, but it is feeling really unruly in some of these areas. One of them being, I think, yeah, you guys can see that, is the lip right here. A couple of the hairs right here, they're just not very straight. They're kind of like zigzaggy. And that's usually never an issue when I cut it every week because it keeps the length pretty low. And I'm learning my facial hair, even though it's not very thick and I don't grow hair in certain spots, it grows pretty fast. So it's noticeably longer within a week, because like if I don't cut my hair every week on my lip, it'll overgrow the lip. But anyways, today's shave, we're going straight down the line like I have been. I used 2 of my first line shave soaps, and now I'm straight into the PAA pile. And the first one I decided to use today is going to be F-Bombs. And the reason I decided to use this one is I just saw on PAA's website that they just re-released it. It's going to be a different label than this one. F-Bombs is a dupe. It's a dupe of Fucking Fabulous by Tom Ford. Tom Ford Perfumery, great stuff. I really like quite a few. I have Tom Ford Black Orchid as an example. But Fucking Fabulous, it's a pretty pricey cologne. I haven't been able to find it in person to put my sniffer on it as a test. But it's like $300 or $400 for a bottle. And I've thought about buying it, but I don't want to spend, man, that much, and it's just not great. And even like the tester, the smallest one they have is like $60 or $80. So I really wish I could find like a store in person that I could, just 1 or 2 sprays just to see how it sits on me and if I like it or not. So with saying that, I don't know how close PAA's dupe of Fucking Fabulous is. Is it really similar, or is it way different? Some dupes are on the money, and some dupes are quite a bit different, because their dupe is their interpretations, so they want to change some stuff. But anyways, matching splash. And I do have the puck, even though PA's not a super hard base, I decided to bloom it today just because it's been a while since I've used it. Now this is a weird one. A weird set of mine, because I not only have the soap and the splash, I have the EDP, and as you can see, it's still pretty full, and I also have the solid cologne. And there's still quite a bit left in that. And again, I usually don't do this. I'm not a big guy of buying everything because I just don't have enough room. And maybe once I get down to a size of like a manageable collection of software, I can maybe do this more. And that's kind of another motivational thing for me to get rid of some more software and figure out like what are my favorites. So that way I can, you know, get and match an EDP or solid cologne or the bomb of it. But the reason I have this set like this is because I got it in a bundle used. So, you know, the gentleman had the soap, he had the splash, and he had these two things. And I got it really cheap. I got it, this and a couple other soaps for like 40 or 50 bucks. So it was a really good deal. I do want to show you that I also have a dupe of fucking Fabulous from Barrett. I like Barrett a lot. Very affordable. Their EDPs are strong, like hours and hours of lastingness. And I have two EDPs from Barrett, and they're cheap. They're, don't quote me, but they're like 40 bucks or less. And this dupe of fucking Fabulous is different than PAA's dupe. PAA's dupe's a lot more sweeter, and this has almost like a spice to it. Both are great, and again, it really makes me wonder what the real fucking Fabulous smells like. We have soaking over here in our bowl. It's going to be like an emerald green Trotter handle, and it has this beautiful L3 from Turn and Shave knot in it. That's what we're going to be using for today's brush. For today's razor, you know, I've told you guys in other videos, I've been doing like a week at a time per razor. And I've switched, even though I haven't done a full week yet of my last razor, which was the Alpha Outlaw Evo Titanium. I decided to switch to my Rocnel Sailor, just because I know I like that Evo. I've used it enough. It's staying. But it's time to give this one some love and attention, because I don't use this one very often. I guess you could say I'm not a huge fan of adjustables in general. And this by far is the best adjustable I've ever used. But even saying that, once we get into the shave, I'll talk about some reasons why I'm still not sure if I should even keep it. We're going to use a feather, first use. And I usually don't do this, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys what it looks like before I put the blade in. And now, what's interesting about this one is it says Rocnel on the top, and it says Sailor right here on the handle. But to make sure that it's on correctly, that Rocnel has to be facing away from the Sailor. It sounds kind of weird, and then what you do is you just twist. And then that dot at the bottom should line up fairly close to that anchor. So if you have the cap on the opposite side, it won't line up even nearly close. And then as you can see, we've got Roman numerals as our adjustments, and it goes all the way up to 5. But then it goes a whole nother turn. So technically it goes up to 10. So it goes up to 5, and then there's a whole nother set of levels so you can keep going, which would be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For me personally, the highest I've ever used is about a 3. And 3 feels pretty efficient. So let's get the water on our head. and let's get this shave started. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm starting to get sick. You know, I've been doing some cleaning just because move day. Where I'm staying at right now is in like the middle of the woods, and I have some trees above my RV. So, you know, there's a lot of leaves that get up there and sticks, and you got to get up there and clean some of that stuff off because, like, my slide out, you don't want sticks and stuff to be on your roof, and then you bring in your slide out because that could rip your roof. And an RV roof, man, it's not cheap. And it's not like a house roof where it's actually made somewhat decently. RVs, they're just not very, you know, some are made better than others, don't get me wrong. But even though I get it, an RV is a recreational vehicle, anybody that's lived in one or owns one will tell you they're not really built like they should be for something that moves. They're built more for to be stationary, to be honest. And that's a good load. PAA, it loads super quick, even when you don't bloom it. That is one thing I love about PAA, is how fast it loads. It is a vegan soap, so there's no tallow in here, no animal fat, anything like that. There's just a lot of butters from plants. And we're going to set that to the side. I hope everybody's doing good. Hopefully you're not congested like me. So I don't know, maybe it's from that. Like, I was on the roof cleaning that off today. You know, I took my puppy out for our morning adventure walk in the woods. Oh yeah. You know, the season is starting to warm up here, so it could be also something with a lot of pollen in the air maybe. Another thing I love about PAA is how fast it builds a lather. And it does build a nice, dense, medium structure lather that I enjoy personally. You know, if you remember my last video with first line shape the weight, you could see that wasn't like a great medium structure density. Where this one is. I mean, we haven't even really worked any water into the lather, and we're already doing really well. I am going to build some agua into the water because CK6 can take it. This is a CK6 soap. You know, all they have now on PAA is CK6. If you haven't shopped at PAA before, there used to be 2 soaps. It was his regular offering, which was a little cheaper, and then there was CK6, which was like the more high-end luxury base. Both were vegan. The original base, to me, was great. CK6, I don't know, CK6, I'm not really sure if it's that much better, or if it's better at all. I did some comparisons before, because CK6 was about $4 or $5 more per tub than the original base. CK6 100% is more thirsty. It takes a lot more water. I'm just not sure it's more slicker. I will say CK6 builds I think a little bit more of a dense base than the other one, but the other one was still pretty dense for a vegan. And I think we're gonna go with this. Yeah, even this could use some more water though, to be honest. So let's just paint a little bit more water in there. The scent strength on this, you know, this is an older tub, right? I told you I bought it used, and I bought it used last year, and it's probably a couple years old. So it's probably, you know, 3 years old already. So, you know, I don't know how often soaps lose their scent, like how long it takes them to lose their scent, but I do know that, you know, like anything, the scent is going to get less and less strong as time goes by. So we're going first round, setting 3. You know what? I'm going to try a little. We're going to try a 4. Because we can always back down. And yeah, that's some high blade feel. Whew, that is some high blade feel. Like people complain about like the Blackbird blade feel, but that has nothing on this. This number 4 right here, whew. It is some serious blade forward. Yeah, we're going to go down. We're going down, folks. And remember what I said about the Gillette Slim, that it always... See? Now I'm on 3. See how much easier like that is than my Gillette Slim? Which makes me wonder, like, again, like, why even keep it? Oh yeah, that 3 is night and day difference. And just to show you guys how much stuff it's knocking down, you can see it all in there. And this is a gorgeous razor, man. Like, I get it, it's not like pure gold revamp like the other one was, but you got that beautiful, that's not gold, it's brass ring. You got that marking at the bottom, the brass inlay in there. It says Rocnel on the bottom there. Beautiful plating on this too. It's not uber shiny. Some parts it's a little shinier than others, but like that top, it's shiny, but it's kind of like more of a matte. And like I showed you, even under the cap, it's still really well plated. Like places like that where you probably could cheap out on the plating, Rocnel doesn't. It is a hefty razor though. The model is the 2022 L model. I know that's hard to see, but it is a hefty ass razor. And you guys know, I've said it before, I like 40 grams to about 85 grams, somewhere in there. And I gotta say that this is way over that. But the reason why I don't mind this one is because it's balanced so well. Like this, it's a lot heavier than my Carve Overlander, and I'm not knocking Carve, but this is better balanced than the Carve Overlander. Like this feels about as heavy as the Carve Overlander in my hand. Which is crazy to me. So it goes to show you, even for somebody like me that doesn't like heavier razors, that a heavier razor doesn't have to feel bad in the hands. You can see it's just knocking down everything. So, you know, what was I saying before about that I was going to talk about in the video why I'm still not sure about having this razor? It's because as an adjustable, I feel like the whole point of an adjustable is that you can use the levels of the adjustments, right? Because if not, like if you're keeping your adjustable razor on the same level all the time, there's no difference than that and having a DE. But the problem with this is I can only go up to level 3, maybe like a 3.5. But you just saw like a level 4 is just too much for me. And it's crazy that this thing goes up to level 10. That's insane. Let's do a quick feel around. Ooh, yeah. I mean, I did miss a couple spots in the back. That's just me. That's not the razor's fault. But I'm telling you guys, like on the sides and the top, that's already pretty close to a BBS. This razor, man, it's insane as an adjustable. Like I just don't understand it. And it's smooth, so like there is a little bit of blade feel, but at level 3, it's not bad at all, in my opinion. But it's noticeably huger gap between 3 and 4. So that's one thing I have noticed about this razor is between level 3 to level 4, level 4 to level 5, it jumps insanely. It's not like a smooth transition. But what is cool is when you adjust, is you can see that there's the 2, there's the 3. You can adjust anywhere in between there. So it's not like some adjustable razors where it's just like, hey, here's level 1, here's level 2. No, you can go to a 3.75 level. You can go to a 3.5. You can go to a 2.1 level. So I do think that is really cool, that there's all those slight variants of adjustableness in it. But yeah, again, I can only go to like 3. And I kind of feel like I wish I could go higher. Like, do I need an adjustable razor if I'm only able to go to the 3rd level in out of 10? I don't know. We are going to add a little bit more water because this lather feels a little dry. And L3 hair, again, you can't get it anymore brand new. But if you find it used on the market, it's great hair. I really enjoy it. As of today, making this video, it's my 3rd favorite batch of hair from Turn and Shave. My first, again, is going to be his M5 hair. I think my second is going to be his M7 hair. And I think my 3rd and final is going to be this 3 hair. All 3 are very similar, but just variants a little differently. And you can see this lather, man, it just great. And I know that PAA gets some flack. He gets a lot of flack from shit he did like 10 years ago. And you can probably Google that to figure out. I don't need to really talk on that. But I gotta say, man, like, this soap is great as a vegan base. It just works well. And he has a lot of unique scents that you just don't see anywhere else or anything even like him. Again, this scent is nice. It's very like cologne-y, but sweet, kind of florally. It's a hard scent to explain. And I don't know how similar it is to the actual cologne Fucking Fabulous by Tom Ford. I wish I did know. I know I enjoy this. I don't know which one I enjoy more, to be honest. Do I enjoy the PAA dupe of it or the Barrett dupe of it? They're both good. The PAA though is sweeter, so I don't know if it's more approachable. It's sweeter and it's almost kind of feels a little lighter to me. Round 2, we're going at a 2.5 adjustment. And that's just so smooth. And you know, that's with a feather in it. And feathers aren't my favorite. I used to like them a lot more until I tried other razors blades. And I still have a bunch because I bought a bunch used. They were unused razors, but the guy was selling them because he was downsizing how many razor blades he had. I guess he had a ton. And I bought like 200 for like, I don't know, it was like less than 20 bucks. Maybe it was 20 bucks. I don't know. It was cheap though. It was cheaper than like buying 200. Yeah, it was less than 20 bucks. Because I think right now on like Amazon, I think for feathers, I think 100 pack right now is like 20 or 30 bucks, somewhere in there. Don't quote me. It's been a while since I've bought razor blades, especially feathers. But I want to say I ended up getting them for a little less than 10 bucks per 100, and I got 200 of them. And again, I just don't use them very often now because I like other blades more. Like, uh, probably my favorite blade to date is Gillette Nossets. Wizamets are really nice too. I do have a bunch of Wizamets. I bought like a 250 pack. I have noticed though that in certain razor blades, the Wizamets just don't seem as great to me. And my Gillette Nossets are great in every razor that I've used them in. I also really like Astra Greens, the SPs. They're cheap. And again, I've been using those for like 10 years, and they work flawlessly in every razor I've ever used them in. So I really like those. And next up would be like the feather for me. What I like about the feather is they feel super sharp, like laser sharp. But the problem is I also feel like they lose their sharpness quicker than any other of those razor blades that I just mentioned. And with feathers, I feel like I don't even get the best shave with them on the first use. It's that second use that I feel like I get the best dialed in cut with them. But then by like round 3, I feel like they're dead. Some people say that they feel like they only get one use out of feathers, and I could see that, to be honest. And they are one of the more expensive DE blades. I mean, they're still cheap overall, I guess you could say, compared to regular shaving. But at the same time, they're a little pricey to me to not get 2 shaves or 3 shaves out of. Okay. Yeah, we're high end DFS, low end BBS. I am going to go with one more round though, just because we have still so much lather. And I am going to clean up the beard too, like I said. But I think I still have plenty enough lather for a cleanup as well. I wish I could better describe this scent for you guys, but it's just so complex. And see, even with my hands as slippery as they are right now, I can still adjust this, like no issues. So we're going to go down to let's go down to like a 1. We're going to go to a 1 for the final pass. And we're still getting a little bit of stubble. Crazy. And 1 is just a smooth shaver, man. Oh. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that on your end, but even on the third pass, I'm still hearing quite a bit of audio feedback. And it's not because, geez, and it's not because I wasn't getting any hair from the last 2 passes. It's because the Rocnel is just that efficient, man. Even on a number 1 against the grain, it's just going to town on my head. Man, that's good. So yeah, like the only downside to this razor, like I said, is that I'm not able to utilize every setting. Again, it is a heavier razor, but I don't mind it with how well balanced it is. It just feels great in the hand right now. Doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel sluggish. Um, you know, again, if you watch some of my older videos, I sold my WSC version 1 winning razor. That was a great razor, but the reason I sold it is because it always felt sluggish when I used it compared to other razors. And that was a lot lighter of a razor than this. And this thing is just, it glides, man. It feels like a supercar. This is the Lamborghini of adjustable razors, in my opinion. And I don't know if each model of the Rocnel shaves a little differently. I assume they all shave fairly similar. So again, this is the 2022. You know, each year he has a new one. So there's a 2021, a 20. I think he started making them in 2019. And then there's obviously going to be a 2023 model. And I've seen some people that have all of them. They have the 2019, 2020, 2021. And, you know, that's more of a collecting thing to me. Because I don't think they shave any differently, but don't quote me on that stuff, guys, because I don't know enough about the Rocnels to know that. Whew. All right, now we're going to go straight into beard cleanup, guys. And the thing is, I still do have a couple weepers from yesterday's shave. So I'm gonna try to be careful. We'll see. If I cut them open, then I probably will not do a cleanup pass tomorrow. But I think I'm gonna try to anyways with this. I think I'm just gonna adjust it to like maybe a 2. And another thing that I like is, again, no overhang. So what I will say is this is starting to get a little bit harder to adjust. But it's still doable, especially because I can hold the side. You know, with the Gillette Slim, because of those overhangs, you can't even really hold the side on it. Whew, okay. I'm going to wait on the splash. So we're going straight into the neck. Oh, yeah. Let's get a little bit more agua in there. Yeah, that's nice. Some on the face. Yeah. And then we're also going to do these 2 little spots in there. And yeah, I don't know. So if if you've read the notes on Fucking Fabulous and you thought, man, that'd be a cool soap to have, PAA has it right now. Again, I'm not promoting it. You know, I don't get anything out of this, but it's on his site. If you've thought about getting it, now could be a good time to get it. Oh, we're on like a level 2, a little bit below level 2. Yeah, man. That does so good. Okay, let's get. Yeah. Yeah, man. That just takes it right off. Whew. This is an efficient cleanup. I've never used the Rocnel Sailor to clean up the beard, so this is the first time I've ever done this, and I am very impressed with it. See, and even there, I definitely moved my line a little bit because you can see some bigger hairs coming out. So that's kind of, I guess, maybe another downside of, because this thing is also kind of big, it's bulky, right? So I never had a trouble using it under the nose, even when I fully shaved. But as you just saw, I did take off some longer hairs on my line. You know, for a beard cleanup, obviously what's going to be the best probably for line work is going to be something that's really small, like a straight razor, a single edge, or just a really thin head razor. But, I mean, it doesn't look noticeably different. I'm going to use a little bit more agua. But again, I'm also still trying to figure out how to get really good at cleaning up those lines, right? So even though this is a little bit thicker of a razor, so I could make that as the excuse, it's also a little bit on me. And now for the neck, I'm going to go across the grain. And I do a little bit of a hybrid, so sometimes I will also go against the grain too in this pass. All right, let's clean off some of that. Oh, yeah. All right, let's see what we got, guys. Man, that's some clean. Oh, jeez. Hold on one second. My dog, man. He loves to be outside, but then it's like, I don't know why, but something every time I shave, it's either at the beginning, the middle, or towards the end of the shave, he starts trying to come in. I don't understand it, man. I'm just gonna have to start bringing him in when I shave. But that was clean. And yeah, I'm still trying to get better at figuring out ways to clean up these lines a little bit better, more efficiently. Because like on that one you saw, I showed you guys, I did obviously take a little too much off, right? Because there was those long hairs. That's fine though, because it's not It doesn't look off or anything like that. At least not to my eye. But we got to use the splash now. Ooh, that burns. High alcohol content. So that is something I don't like about PAA's splash, is it's very high in alcohol. There's not a whole heck of a lot of skin food going on there. Ooh, yeah. We got a close neck shave. Ooh. And even the post-shave with the soap isn't very nourishing to me. I love the density of PAA's CK6. I love how easy it is to load. I love the variety of scents he offers, and some of them that are seasonal that you don't see anywhere else. I don't like the post-shave feel, and I definitely don't like the high alcohol content anymore of the splashes. But what I will say about his splashes are that they're really strong scented as well. Like, I've put on his splashes, and they will last like an hour or 2 hours, the scent on you. So his splashes are very strong too, which could be a bad thing if you're using a different scent cologne. But it could be a great thing if you're not using a cologne that day, right? So it's really up to you what your preference is. And I think that's all we got. We are a little red right over here. And I think that's just from where my weepers were the other day. I don't see any cuts or anything. So I think we're doing pretty well. But yeah, maybe I'll give my neck a break tomorrow, and I won't do another cleanup pass tomorrow. Like I said in some of my other videos, I've been trying to do a cleanup almost every day just so my neck gets used to getting shaved again. Because I was only doing a cleanup like once a week, or maybe twice a week before, and I was just starting to get a lot of irritation at certain points on my neck. So I appreciate you guys coming by. Hopefully you enjoyed the shave. Quick recap, we used Rocnel Sailor 2022 L model, beautiful, adjustable. We used, for the soap, PAA F-Bombs. It's a dupe of fucking Fabulous by Tom Ford. I don't know how good it is or how close it is to fucking Fabulous from Tom Ford because I've never tried the actual scent. We used the matching splash. For our brush today, we used Trotter Handcrafts handle in this beautiful like emerald green with a turn and shave L3 knot. And we do have the matching EDP. I don't use it often, just because I use this more. And the reason is because I haven't seen him sell F-Bombs for like 2 years. He sold it on a Black Friday, like for 2 days. But besides that, I haven't seen it on his site in like 2 years, and it's on there right now, again. So that's why I just don't use this very often, because it's one of those things where I'm like, oh man, if I use it and I run out, I'm going to be kind of irked. But and it's a great EDP scent. Yeah, this is just the Barrett one. It's a little spicier and maybe even like a little warmer, where this is a lot more sweeter and you get much more of a floral vibe to it. Both great, both nice. I'm just smelling it everywhere right now. So I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I'll catch you guys on the next shave.